was a shadow in your headlights, dancing barefoot through the warning signs. Every promise burned like gasoline. Still I drank the fire like a desperate dream.
You said forever with a shaking voice, like broken angels never had a choice. Now your memory lives under my skin, a war I lose every night within.
And I still hear your name inside the thunder and the rain. Every scar you left behind keeps waking up this heart of mine. But I should learn to breathe again after the storm, after the end. You broke my bones, you stole my life. Still I survived the endless night. I turned my pain into a flame. Now every tear rewrites my name. You left me shattered on my knees, but ashes, ashes learn to breathe.
There were nights I couldn't face the mirror. Every heartbeat sounded louder, clearer. I carried silence like a loaded gun, praying someday I would finally run.
The city cried in neon blue. Every empty road reminded me of you.
But pain became the armor on my chest, and every wound taught me what survived the test. Now your ghost fades away like smoke dissolving into gray. I was drowning in your tide, now I rise against the night.
Because ashes learn to breathe again after the storm, after the end. You broke my trust, you crushed my pride. Still there was fire left inside. I turned my sorrow into gold, a stronger soul from growing cold. You left me shattered on my knees, but ashes, ashes learn to breathe. I was falling down into the dark, heart wide open, holding broken sparks. But the wreckage made a warrior, the silence made me dangerous. Now every crack inside my soul glows brighter than before.
My ashes learn to breathe again, even when the world caves in. You were the knife, you were the flood. Now I'm reborn from dust and blood.
No, I won't beg for love this time. I found my strength between the lines. You try to bury every piece of me, but ashes, ashes still bleed. From the ruins, from the pain, I became my own escape. And the fire you left in me finally set me free. Cold smoke hanging in the midnight air. Your fingerprints still linger everywhere.
I hear your echo in the hollow halls, like a dying prayer against these broken walls. I gave you heaven from my shaking hands, built our future out of sinking sand.
Now I'm standing where the light collapsed, holding all the pieces of a love that never lasts.
And every sleepless night turned my tears into a fight. Every wound became a spark,
Your coat still hangs beside the door, like you might walk in here once more. But dust has settled on our frame, and even heaven forgot your name.
I used to count the cracks above, like they could somehow bring back love. Every night became a battlefield where broken hearts we never healed.
I was sinking underneath the weight of every memory.
The pain became a voice inside,
Saying you were born to survive. When the silence explodes tonight and the dark consumes the light, I will rise from every scar like a fire through the wreckage of my heart. You left me bleeding in the rain, with empty hands and hurricane veins. But every tear became my soul, and every loss made me whole.
I walk through streets of neon ghosts, talking to shadows I fear the most. Your goodbye still cuts like glass, but I stopped living in the past.
Now the mirrors show someone who learned to fight instead of run. A soul rebuilt from shattered bones, turning heartbreak into stone.
There were nights I almost fell into my own living hell, but the flames you left behind lit a stronger state of mind.
When the silence explodes tonight and the sky is stripped of light, I will scream into the storm until a new heart is reborn. You left me drowning in the flood, with heavy eyes and poison blood. But every wound became a spark, guiding me out of the dark. Oh, I was crawling through the ruins, begging for the pain to stop. Every shattered piece inside me felt like it would never heal. But storms can forge the strongest fire, and broken souls still climb higher. Now the chains around my chest can't hold down what survived the test.
When the silence explodes again, I won't break beneath the end. I became the sound of war, stronger than I was before.
You tried to turn my soul to dust, but pain rebuilt what love once crushed. Now I stand where fear once lives, with a heart that won't forgive.
And if your ghost still calls my name, it won't pull me into flames, because the darkness I survived finally taught me I'm
I found your shadow on the bedroom floor, like a ghost still waiting by the door. Every photograph became a crime, frozen evidence of better times. The city lights were bleeding blue, every broken road led back to you. I wore your memory like heavy chains, dragging my heart through hurricanes. I was
barely breathing, lost beneath the waves, but pain became the fire that refused to let me fade.
Now there are bones beneath the thunder, so that storms could not pull under. You broke my world with a trembling hands, still I learned to rise again. Every scar became a warning sign, every tear rewrote my life. You left me shattered, cold and torn, but from the wreckage and I don't fear the storm much longer.
You were the wound that changed my skin, but not the war I carry within. Every tear became my armor. Every fall only made me harder. You tried to leave my soul undone, but I became what I was running from.
So let the thunder call my name. I survived the fire and the flames, and the love that nearly ruined me.
Finally set the strongest part of me free.
Your voice still echoes through the hall like shattered glass against my walls. I try to hold the flood inside, but every memory multiplied.
We built our love like sacred art, two reckless souls with fragile hearts. Now the smoke hangs in the air where your hands once pulled me near.
I was drowning in the silence, choking on goodbye. Every prayer felt empty, every tear ran dry. Now the cathedrals are on fire, burning with my lost desire. You tore the angels from my chest, left chaos where my heart once rested.
But I survived the falling sky, learned how to bleed to stay alive. Every scar became a light, guiding me through endless nights. I remember sleeping on the floor, trying not to need you anymore. The mirror showed a tired face, a soul too hurt to be replaced.
The city moved while I stood still, swallowing every bitter pill. But pain became a voice inside, saying, stand up, don't you hide.
All the wreckage that you made couldn't keep me in the grave. Even storms that broke my bones couldn't steal what I became.
Now the cathedrals are on fire, ashes floating even higher. You left my world in black and blue, but I found strength I never knew.
Now my heartbeat sounds like drums, echoing where fear once was. Every wound became my guide, leading me back to life.
I was screaming at the ceiling while the darkness closed around me. Every promise turned to thunder, every touch became a memory.
But the ruins made me fearless, and the heartbreak made me dangerous. Now I wear these scars like crowns, and I won't let them drag me down.
Let the cathedrals burn tonight. I won't run from smoke and light. You were the storm that split my soul, but not the end of who I'll be.
Now the flames live in my veins, turning sorrow into strength. You broke the person I once knew and built somebody stronger too.
So if your ghost still calls my name, it won't pull me back again, because the fire that almost killed me finally taught my heart to breathe.
Rain on the rooftop, cold like your goodbye. Streetlights flicker while the whole world passes by. I still taste the smoke from the words we never said. Every dream we built is buried
was holding on to shadows in an empty room, trying to stop the silence from becoming doom. Your memory moved through me like a blade of gold, beautiful and cruel, impossible to hold.
I was falling through the dark, with your name inside my scars. Every shattered piece of me still fighting just to breathe.
This is the sound of hearts collapsing, thunder underneath the skin. Love turned into a war zone, no one ever truly wins. But I survived the crashing fire, the weight of losing my desire. Now every wound becomes a spark, lighting up the deepest dark.
There were nights I almost disappeared, drowning in the echo of my fear. I wore pain like chains around my soul, too broken to believe I'd be whole. But the mirror started changing over time. I saw strength hidden underneath the fight. Every tear became another stone in the foundation of who I've become.
Now the storm inside my chest doesn't scare me like it did. All the ghosts you left behind couldn't take this life of mine. This is the sound of hearts collapsing, skyline burning in the wind. You try to leave me hopeless, but I learned how to begin again. Now the ashes fill my lungs like battle hymns already sung, and every scar across my heart reminds me I survived the dark. Oh, I remember crying in the kitchen light, praying somehow pain would lose the fight. Every memory hit like falling glass, cutting through the shadows of the past.
But broken things can still shine brighter, and wounded souls can still grow higher.
Now I carry all this pain like lightning running through my veins. This is the sound of hearts collapsing, and mine still beats beneath the wreckage. You were the fire, you were the flood. Now I rise above the damage. Every loss became my power, every dark became a tower. You thought I'd drown inside the grief, but pain became my victory. So let the heavens shake tonight. I'm no longer terrified, because the love that tore me apart built a stronger heart inside these scars.
Your perfume still lives in the curtains, like the past refusing to die. I trace your name across the darkness, while another night goes numb inside. The apartment shakes with distant sirens, and tired shadows cross the floor. We were lightning for a moment, now we're strangers at war. I kept your voice inside my bloodstream, like poison wrapped in gold. Every forever that you whisper turn my young heart cold. But there's gravity after goodbye. Even when your whole world falls from the sky, I was shattered into 1,000 flames, till I carried on through
why even broken stars still shine. I was buried underneath your leaving. Now I rise with deeper meaning.
Every bruise became a flame. Every loss rewrote my name. You tried to end this heart of mine, but pain became my lifeline.
Someday when they ask about you, I won't speak with fear anymore, because the love that nearly destroyed me built the strength I was searching for.
The moonlight spills across the floor like memories outside my door. Your sweater hanging by the chair still makes it feel like you were there.
I used to pray the pain would fade, but grief carved rivers through my veins. Every whisper what we saved now echoes through an empty place.
I was losing who I was in the wreckage of our love. Every night felt like a war. I didn't want to fight anymore.
But there are halos in the ruins, even broken souls keep moving.
You left my world in black and smoke, but I survived the things I broke. Now my heartbeat shakes the silence like a storm refusing violence. Every scar became the proof that I could still become the truth. I remember crying in my car under exhausted stars. The radio played songs we knew, and every lyric sounded cruel.
I tried to bury all your ghosts, but they still haunted me the most, until I learned the hardest part was rebuilding my own heart. Every tear I couldn't hide turned to fire deep inside, and the pain that pulled me down couldn't keep me on the ground. There are halos in the ruins after all the losing and bruising. You thought I'd fade beneath the weight, but I became stronger through the ache. Now my soul sounds cinematic, wild electric automatic. Every wound became a light, leading me back to life. Oh, I was standing at the edge, one breath away from giving in, with your goodbye inside my chest like thunder underneath my skin. But broken hearts can still beat louder, and lonely souls can still rise higher. Now the ashes in my lungs sing like battle hymns unsung. There are halos in the ruins, and I finally see them glowing. You were the fire, you were the fall, but you were never all in all. Every bruise became my armor, every dog just made me harder. You tried to leave my spirit torn, but from the pain I was reborn. So if your memory returns tonight, I won't run or hide this time, because the love that left me bleeding taught my broken soul to keep breathing. Your goodbye hit like a train at midnight, steel sparks flying through my chest. I watched our future fall in slow motion like a kingdom turning into wreckage. The windows shook from distant thunder while your footsteps faded down the hall. I wanna scream your name forever, but silence answered every call.
I was sinking through the dark with your shadow on my heart. song still sounded like you.
Time can turn a wound to armor, and grief can build a stronger soul. I learned how to stand inside the chaos without begging to be whole. All the nights I thought I'd lose it, built the fire running through me. Now the ghost of your leaving can't control who I will be. There's a wildfire in my veins, rising higher through the rain. You tried to bury me in sorrow, but I became my own tomorrow. Now my heartbeat sounds cinematic, loud, electric, automatic. Every bruise became a flame, calling out my name.
Oh, I was drowning in the bathroom mirror, trying not to disappear, with your promises like broken glass still cutting through the years. But the ruins made me fearless, and the heartbreak made me dangerous. Now I walk through smoke and ashes like survival was contagious.
There's a wildfire in my veins, and I'll never be the same.
You were the flood, you were the fall, but you could never end it all. Every loss became my power, every dark became a tower. You tried to leave my soul erased, now I burn with fearless grace. So let the heavens crack tonight. I found my strength inside the fight, and the love that almost killed me finally taught my heart to rise.
The apartment's cold at 3 a.m. Your side of the bed untouched again. Streetlights flicker through the blinds like fading ghosts of better times.
I still hear your voice in the static noise, like an old cassette we couldn't avoid. Every promise turned to dust, every always lost its trust.
I was breaking at the seams, holding on to shattered dreams. Every breath felt hard to steal, every wound too deep to heal. These are smoke signals from a dying heart, calling out from the dark. You left me drowning in the flames, but I survived the wreckage and pain.
Now the scars glow under my skin, like proof I made it through the end. You tore my whole world apart, but you couldn't kill this heart.
There were nights I drove for hours, trying to outrun your power.
Neon cities blurred like tears, I disappeared for almost years. But the silence started teaching me how pain can shape identity, and every crack inside my soul became a place where light could grow. All the storms you left behind couldn't bury me alive. I found strength inside the grief, like fire underneath defeat.
These are smoke signals from a dying heart, rising from the shattered parts. You thought the fall would finish me, but pain became my clarity.
Now my heartbeat sounds like drums, echoing where fear once was. You tore my whole world apart, but you awakened who I am.
No, I remember crying in the headlights and shaking in the pouring rain, feeling like the sky
easy cracked. You were the fire, you were the war, but I'm not yours anymore. Every bruise became a lesson, every loss became a weapon. You tried to leave me in the dark, but I became my own spark.
And if your ghost still walks these halls, I won't answer when it calls, because the pain that nearly buried me
Finally taught my soul to breathe.
Your shadow still lives in the hallway light, like a storm that never said goodbye. Coffee cups and broken picture frames, silent witnesses to all our pain.
I used to wait for your midnight call, like somehow love could fix it all. But every second turned to stone and every room felt cold alone.
I was losing air to breathe, buried underneath the grief. Every tear a tidal wave, pulling me into the grave. But iron hearts don't drown forever, even in the west September. You broke my world into debris, still the fire survived in me. Now my blood runs wild with thunder, and I don't fear the dark much longer. Every scar became my crown. Iron hearts don't drown.
There were nights I screamed at heaven, begging for a different ending. Your memory burned through every song, making every mile feel wrong.
I drove through cities half asleep, with ghosts riding next to me. But pain became a sharpened blade, cutting fear away. All the ruins that you left couldn't steal what I had left. Even shattered bones can heal, even broken hearts can feel. Iron hearts don't drown forever, they survive the stormy weather. You thought the waves would pull me under, now I rise above the thunder. Every bruise became ignition, every loss became transition. You tried to break me down somehow, but iron hearts don't I remember standing in the bathroom mirror, barely recognizing who I was. Mascara, tears, and shaking hands, trying to survive the flood. The darkness made me fearless, and the heartbreak made me dangerous. Now the ashes in my chest burn brighter than the rest. Iron hearts don't drown forever.
Now I know I'm stronger than ever.
You were the fire, you were the war, but you can't hurt me anymore. Every wound became a reason, every cold became a season. You left me lost, but here I'm found. Iron hearts don't drown. So let the rain come pouring down, I won't despair this time around, because the love that almost ended me built the soul I'm proud to be. Lipstick stain still marks the glass, like proof that heaven couldn't last. Radio hums our old mistakes, while dawn leaks through the window shades.
I try to sleep beside the silence, but your ghost kept starting riots. Every memory hit like smoke inside these lungs already broke.
I was falling through the static, heartbeat cold and automatic. Every shattered part of me still begging just to breathe. We were blackout saints on borrowed time, burning halos in the night. You tore my world apart like war, but I'm not afraid anymore. Now the pain runs electric blue, turning scars into something new. Every wound became my art, etched forever on this heart.
There were nights the ceiling spun like I was choking on the damage done. Empty bottles, tired eyes, trying hard not to flatline.
The city moved in neon prayers while I disappeared into despair. But somewhere deep beneath the wreckage, a stronger soul was learning lessons.
All the storms you left inside couldn't wash away my fight.
Even when the sky collapsed, I kept breathing through the ash. We were blackout saints with broken wings, singing through the suffering. You thought the fire would bury me, but flames became my therapy. Now my heartbeat sounds like drums, echoing where fear once was. Every bruise became a spark, lighting up the I remember screaming in the driveway, rain pouring down like Judgment Day. Your headlights fading in the distance while my whole world shook in place. But broken people build foundations out of loss and devastation. Now the ashes in my veins feel like power, not like chains. We were
Blackout saints in the ruins, but I finally found the truth in every tear and every scar.
made me stronger than you are. You were the flood, you were the knife, but you couldn't take my life. Now I stand where fear once started, with a soul still battle-hearted. And if your memory turns tonight, it won't steal another piece of mine, because the pain that nearly crushed me built the fire living inside me.
Your jacket's still hanging by the doorway, like you're coming back someday. But the silence in this apartment says everything we couldn't say.
The city bleeds through cracked windows, red and blue across my face. Every corner holds your shadow, every breath still tastes the same.
I was thinking in slow motion under waves of memory. Every heartbeat felt like broken glass, cutting into me.
Now we're ghosts beneath the neon sky, two burned souls learning how to die. You left my heart in ruins and smoke, but I survived what you broke. Now the thunder lives in my veins, turning sorrow into strength again. Every scar became a sign that I'm still trying to erase your memory, but every road led back to you. Then the ruins started talking, saying you were born to fight. So I turned my wounds to fire and walked straight into the night.
Now we're ghosts beneath the neon sky,
But I finally know the reason why.
every heartbreak, every scar made me into who we are. You were the flood, you were the flame,
But you could never take my name.
now I stand where fear once lived, with a heart that still
Resist, and if your shadow calls again, it won't drag me to the end, because the love that almost destroyed me
built the strength
that now controls me.
Your name still lingers in the hallway, like smoke that never leaves the walls. I hear the echo of your footsteps every time the midnight calls.
We were reckless, young, electric, burning brighter than the sun. Now the ashes fill the silence where our future came undone.
I was breaking in the shadows, trying not to lose control. Every memory like lightning, running straight across my soul.
What happens after the
Fire stops after the last tear finally drops.
when the smoke clears from the sky and you're left alone to survive?
I turned the pain into a pulse, a beating war inside my blood.
You left me shattered in the dark,
But you couldn't kill my heart.
there were nights I hated breathing, 'cause every breath still felt like you. The mirror showed a stranger crying with nothing left to hold on to.
I drove through empty streets for hours, with thunder crawling through my chest. But every mile away from you pulled me closer to my best.
All the chaos that you left,
Couldn't bear what was left.
even broken bones can heal.
Even numb hearts learn to feel. What happens after the fire stops, when the world forgets what you lost?
You thought I'd drown beneath the waves, but I survived the pain you gave.
Now my heartbeat sounds like drums echoing where fear once was.
Every scar became a flame, teaching me to rise again. Oh, I remember shaking in the bathroom light,
Mascara tears and bloodshot eyes, praying heaven had an answer.
for the way you said goodbye.
But broken souls can still grow stronger, and lonely hearts can still fight harder. Now the ashes in my lungs feel like power overcoming loss. This is what happens after the fire stops. You learn the wounds don't always rot. Sometimes they become the reason you survive another season.
You were the flood, you were the war,
But I'm not afraid anymore. Now I stand inside the flame and finally know my name. So let the silence come tonight. I won't run from what survived, because the love that nearly ended me became the strength that set me free.
Your voice still shakes the walls at midnight, like thunder trapped beneath my skin. I light another cigarette in silence, trying not to let the memories in. The sink is full of broken glasses, the TV glows but says nothing new. Every corner of this empty apartment still feels haunted by you. I was drowning in slow motion underneath the weight of us. Every promise turned to ashes, every touch dissolved to dust. Now there are wolves inside my heart, howling loud inside the dark. You tore my whole world into pieces, but pain became the thing that freed me. Every scar became a battle cry, every storm taught me how to survive. You were the wound that left its mark. Now there are wolves inside my heart.
There were nights I drove through nowhere, just to outrun your ghost again. Streetlights blurred like falling comets, while rain poured heavy on the windshield glass.
I thought heartbreak would destroy me, leave me buried underneath. But the deeper that I shattered, the stronger I learned to be. All the chaos that you made couldn't drag me to the grave. Even in the blackest night, something in me kept the fight. Now there are wolves inside my heart, wild enough to tear apart every chain you wrapped around me, every fear that tried to drown me. Now my blood runs electric blue, like lightning breaking straight through. You were the flame that burned too hard. Now there are wolves inside my heart. Oh, I remember crying in the kitchen, hands trembling under neon lights, praying somehow I could wake up and find another life. But broken souls can still grow fearless, and lonely hearts can still turn dangerous. Now the ashes in my veins sound like thunder when it rains.
Now there are wolves inside my heart, and they don't fear the dark. You thought your leaving would destroy me, but survival rewrote the story.